Behind a VDJ, that's what the inside of your fuel tank looks like. What do you have to say to those innocent women and children? What do you have to say to those innocent... Do you wish you didn't do it?
No.
Oh my... Well, you know exactly where we are. HD Automotive, the place of Hayden, Max, and all things gorgeous and glamorous. Now, in today's episode, it's a fun one. We're dealing with gearboxes. We're dealing with the brand new NPC Clutch, which is going to absolutely transform the car. And then we're going to try and jerry-rig that 79 series fuel tank into it. This is going to be a big one. Max is going to love it. Strap yourselves in. Progress is happening. The past couple of days have been big ones, very exciting ones, as a matter of fact. As you can see, Forged 1FZ in the car. You can also probably see a distinct lack of everything else. Obviously, inner guards deleted at Kinsella's. Coilovers now in the way of everything, but wiring sort of stripped back and tucked up into the, I guess, this little cavity that we have up under here. Things that we've realized aren't going to work thus far is we had to get a balancer, which we didn't have. The Proflow manifold now doesn't fit because of the coilover towers. That's not Proflow's fault, that is my fault, because we put this in the way. So we've dropped it off to Blackheart factory. He's going to be just basically shortening up the runners as much as we can. And then I think we may have to notch this corner of the tower and put some steam pipe in there just to strengthen it back up. Radiator's out. We've still got the PWR from the Naughty 40, which is exciting. That's been just stored since, so that's going to help keep this big girl cool. We're going to keep with the clutch fan because I think they're way more efficient at keeping things like this cool instead of thermos, and it's just one less thing to go wrong in the bush. And if you come over here, follow me, children, over in this little corner behind that toolbox, just a couple of backyard welders getting it done. Don't look at the pretty lights. But what that is a DPF 2021 79 series dual cab tank. So it's about 120 or 130 litres factory. And we've just notched a little corner out of it and that will fit perfectly in the back. So we should have about 100 to 110 litres of fuel capacity in this car, which is good because up until yesterday we had no fuel capacity. So there's a lot going on. We're going to try and get this tank mounted up. We've got all the factory hangers and brackets and stuff from the 79. We've got a fuel sender coming because most people keep those for the long range tanks that they're running. There's a lot going on. There's a lot in my mind at the moment. Hopefully it all works out. We're going to be here for 2 or 3 weeks of power. We're going to be giving you guys updates along in form of episodes. And we're just going to try and smash through this build and get this thing on the dyno. Fingers crossed. What have we done? Behind a VDJ, that's what the inside of your fuel tank looks like. Filthy and oily and full of metal usually. There's a lot in common actually. Extremely expensive to fill too. Basically the plan now, a little fucking right angled metal taco with a bit of fancy shaping, and then that should give us the clearance for the cross member, which has the coilover towers welded to it. And then we should be able to do some kind of jerry rigging using the VDJ mounts, hopefully sling it up like a factory tank. And with a little bit of fucking good luck and fairy dust, the factory filler and the VDJ filler should be able to kiss and make love. Fingers crossed, eh?
So, 79 series fuel tank. Probably the biggest tank we could find to actually fill the space in the back of Sam's car. So he does have a cross member here, so what we've had to do is we've had to notch a corner out of the tank and just weld in like a 90-degree plate essentially. So that's all welded in. What we're going to do now is just run some seam sealer over all the welds just as a precautionary measure, I guess. And then paint the whole thing with black tar so it looks factory and should be good to go in.
Come with us, children. This is JJ. He likes 4 cylinders because he's a fucking dude. Max is just, we went to Dark Arts Factory, used his really good bender. We bent up some metal and Max has just welded it in to fill the gap, which is so it could fit over the cross member. What we're now going to do is, because it was a diesel tank full of swarf and grinding dust,
Right, yep.
is fill it with water, flush it out, but also measure the capacity and see how much we've lost. Because I know you bags out there are going to be like,
I need to know
yeah,
to the milliliter measurement exactly how much fuel you can carry.
exactly right. So
yeah, 2 in 1.
we're going to do that, flush it out, measure it up, see that we've now only got a 40 litre tank and we'll only get one dyno pull. Should be good. Can't wait to see it leak through the seam sealer.
The whole way.
Niagara Fall, every piece of it. You're probably wondering why we care so much about fuel capacity. The reason is this is the only tank in the car and we'll be running ethanol, which uses, I guess, generally like 50 to 60 litres per 100.
Yeah, 30% more.
I just can't believe Max recommended this all along. Talked me into it. Almost bribed me.
Ages.
Disaster. Almost 30 litres. That's an 80 sub tank, so we're ahead. Speaking of ahead, help me get ahead by buying my merch. Steve's, RIP Naughty 40. Taken from this very workshop, actually. But security has since been up, so we still fucking hate thieves. So if you want to buy a shirt and show the world that you're rude and you hate thieves, Sam Young, 4x4.com. Use discount. No, I'm kidding. There's no discount. I need money. Oh, we got a leak.
Do it?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
What is that coming out of? Like a relief hole or something.
Oh, I know what it is. See, that's why we fill it with water.
107 litres before leakage. There, we'll get 115 out of this. What the? Oh, there's a hole in the tank.
Yeah.
Just what? By
That's
us?
nice. No.
Something.
I just have to plug weld the hole.
Yeah, cool. Bullshit. But it's also coming out that seam though. If I, you see that?
Yeah. So it looks like, see how there's a layer there?
Yeah, right.
I have to just.
Yeah, give it a buzz on the welder there, boys. It's 110 litres for those kids playing at home. And we've still got like a pleasurable amount of disk space to fill. 120 litres, folks. I'd say capacity maybe, because we got the pumps will go in there and take some space and that sort of thing. So this guy sold us a 140 litre tank, which is what someone else corrected me online. Okay. So it's a 140 litre tank, we've lost 10 litres of capacity. So 130 litres is 30 litres more than I thought we were gonna have. So that's pretty good.
It's a win.
That is a win. Now if this was fuel, you'd be really mad. But it's not, it's just a bit of diesel and dirt. And metal swarf.
This the new telereader. Been the one since the fetus. Don't sleep on me, Tempur-Pedic. That's a no.
When it comes to running clutches in project cars, NPC are the go-to for us here. We had the NPC 1300 in the Naughty 40 originally with the diesel. It was fantastic. Took some serious abuse, was really light to feel on the pedal. So we went back to NPC, worked very closely with Max here at HD and James from NPC to put together this, the Diesel is Dead clutch kit. And that's because diesel is well and truly dead, as Boylan will attest to. This guy right here is basically the NPC 1600 kit that they have somehow managed to squeeze into a 1FZ bell housing. Not really sure how they've done it because it is a massive situation, but they've done it well. What we're looking at in this box is going to be a clutch that is hopefully going to be able to withstand the 8,900 horsepower, 1,000 plus newton meters. It's a organic material. It's a single plate clutch, mostly because we didn't want that really difficult dual plate, very hard to use off-road type clutch kit. So they've worked really hard to make sure that it remains single plate, organic, and is still going to be able to be sort of, I guess, slipped a bit and used off-road. Otherwise you just end up with something that's like a button, an on-off switch even, and it's just a nightmare. So this is looking absolutely schmick as. Very keen to get that in the car. Then over here is the other part of the kit, and this is what NPC do, is a big billet flywheel. This dog is heavy, it's sick, it's sexy, it's strong. We then just have to slip the ring gear on that and it should be good to go all together. One thing we were waiting on is over here. Follow me, children. Here is Max. This is my 1FZ out of the car with the gearbox and transfer attached. We took it out at Kinsella's and left it out because we didn't want to put it back in the car and risk banging up the chassis on this old clapped motor. Max is gonna split the gearbox and stuff, and then we can sort of put it all together, put it up in the car, which is important because then the third engine mount can go in and then we can start fabricating things like dump pipes and screamers. So, let's do some Oh, it stinks. Do you want to smell? Have a smell. I'd rather fill my nose with in the center of this again. Don't do drugs, kids. Heat her up, slip her on. Job's on.
Alright, honestly though, teeth taper, what do you reckon? Towards starter motor to help engagement, slip in?
Yeah.
JJ, come here with a hammer.
Team Gate. This here is our 500,000 kilometre old factory gearbox, which is about to see 10 times the power it was ever intended to. It's important to always use genuine rear main seals because they're to replace, and if it's aftermarket, it generally leaks. What we've done is use an aftermarket on here.
Yeah, I'll ground them. Clean it, put it in, clean it. Yeah. Put the gearbox in, clean it again.
Put everything in 10 times, clean everything. We're just discussing how James from NPC wanted me to tell you guys, that if you're installing your NPC clutches, you really need to make sure you clean the shit out of them, because he has had a lot of people try to claim warranty on like a slipping clutch or a fed clutch. When they go to look at it, there's still residue and dirt and grit actually on all the clutch surfaces. So very important to clean that dog really, really thoroughly before you put it in the car. Put it in the car, clean it again, clean hands, change gloves, all that sort of thing. Because have a shower. Progress. Nice shiny gearbox. This is obviously straight cut gears, sequential box to handle the power. Should handle 1,000. Teamwork makes the dream work. Flywheel? Clean girl. Billet dog to handle the... Do you want to clutch a line at all?
Not until we put the clutch on.
Shut up. NPC billet flywheel, very nice, very shiny. We've cleaned the living shit out of it already. We're going to clean it again before we put the clutch on. Max has done God's work here. We've got new genuine flywheel bolts, very important for a car that is running this sort of power. You don't want to be reusing any old. They're done up to 100 Newton meters, star pattern, all the usual stuff, so you pull it down evenly. The next step's going to be clean all this up. Obviously there's new rear main in there, new spigot bearing, NPC supply the spigot bearing, we've got new throw-out bearings, all that sort of stuff. We'll clean this all again, clutch on, box on, transfer. In another episode we're going to be part-time converting this. Obviously we've got the GU front with the freewheeling hubs now, so we're going to be cleaning that, stripping that down, welding that up, put it all in, send some tail shaft measurements to a tail shaft shop, do engine things and go racing. Bling, baby. HDT in the bin where it belongs. I'm making enemies today. You know why? Because Diesel's dead.
Of the engine while I unstrap it.
Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah.
Heavy girl. She's a good girl. Doesn't fit.
Pull the engine gearbox out together the front end, and they welded these mounts in on the back.
You're a idiot. That bolt, that's not gonna fit past the bolt, bro.
I'm gonna have to cut your bell housing.
A sheer coincidence.
There she is, baby. Send him home. I love you like a dog loves puss.
I hope this clutch doesn't slip. Get the engine out.
Don't say that. Toyota's already done the that's wrapped the job in the f***ing world, so we're gonna add to it. Seal it up, and then it'll have weld, body sealer, and Raptor holding ethanol in. Have a go.
See about their spray distance.
Mate, is that 60 centimeters minimum spray distance? It's like a current affair when they catch a sex predator. What do you have to say to those innocent women and children? What do you have to say to those innocent... Do you wish you didn't do it?
No.
That right there, replicated tank. Now, we have bought a brand new, genuine fuel level sender, which we will be using with the Haltech IC7-. It came with all the brackets, it came with all the mounts, it came with the slings, and it came with the feed and return. We've obviously now just got to run power to the tank because this is a diesel tank and it's going to be ethanol and 98. That filler will plumb straight up to the factory filler, which is really exciting, very keen. And now that it's wrapped, it looks factory. And I don't think we're going to have to run the little bash guard, so that's exciting too. Better beer. Why's it got a blow-off valve?
I don't know.
Weird,
This is the factory pickup from the diesel 79 series tank. Obviously, being a petrol, you need an in-tank fuel pump to fill the surge tank. We also need power to go into the tank to power the fuel pump. Seeing these don't have an electric pump on them, what we're going to have to do is mount an electric pump at the same height as this current pickup is, so it sits right on the bottom to get all the fuel out of your tank. And we're also going to add some strengthening beams just on these pickup tubes because there's going to be an increased weight with the pump hanging on the end. Besides that, it's pretty straightforward. We'll mount the pump, weld some things on, and then we're going to hook the outlet of the pump up. We cut this tube back and hook it up to this, so you still use the factory feed line.
Nice.
Doesn't have to be too crazy of a pump, it just needs to fill your surge tank, which is only got like a 2.8 litre surge tank, so you'll be doing really well if you rate in a surge tank. Cool. In one go.
Nice. One pump from main tank to surge, two in the surge to pump to the
Engine.
rail.
Yep.
Big squirty boys to make it all go.
Yeah. So that's before, and then we'll show you soon when we're done.
I've been mortified, 45, feeling like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. Traumatized, victimized, seeing some of my die. Knock you off a base with a bat when them slide. Homicide.
Raceworks have been huge supporters of the channel for a long time, and we're very, very excited when I suggested a huge horsepower petrol build, and they came on board. So we're starting things off with their fuel pump. This is the EFP 501. This guy, 340 litres per hour, E85 safe, super compact. Going to be perfect for retrofitting to the hangar to feed the surge tank, which we've got, which is also from Raceworks. They also sent through these guys right here, high current bulkhead terminals, because obviously we're using this diesel hangar, didn't normally have power in there, so this is a really good, safe and professional way to get power into the tank nicely. So Max is here modifying the little device that we need. He's bracing it up. Get it in the tank soon.
It's not a full saucer kind of situation.
You're trying to get out of it. Keep your elbow in there so it's dry.
It is dry.
What about this far corner?
Yeah, that's the other arm.
I drove out of Gold Coast to get parts for a GQ, so this is the fucking least you can do. Maximise arms are over GVM for that hole, so small arms were required. If I'd known how much I was going to complain about putting a forearm in a gaping gap, I wouldn't have asked her to.
Let's see if it fits.
Put them back. Oh my god. The boots rub. Oh no shit. Just practicing my golf swing.
Hey guys, just wondering if you need more people.
Yeah.
Just thought we might get everyone on this one.
If we could.
So if you hold that corner, I'll hold this.
I'll hold it
side.
hold it
What's that, mate?
5 full-time HD mechanics, 1 unemployed YouTube vlog on a camera.
Let me just work out the hourly rate you're currently being charged.
$900.
$825.
to suspend a fuel tank.
Plus there's the YouTube vlog surcharge.
Please,
Hold
add it on there.
Add that on. We're looking at $17.82 an hour. Yeah.
It's worth it. That's the HD difference. Well, this episode has been a pretty exciting one. It's been a long time in the making. Max has absolutely knocked it out of the park. We got up here, we got the engine in, we realised a whole bunch of stuff's not going to fit, so that was fun. The gearbox arrived, the NPC Clutch is in, but most importantly, we have got fuel capacity, 130 litres of it, modified 79 tank. Max ran power, he modified the hangar, the Raceworks pumps in there. Very excited to get this build cranking. It's one thing for you guys to do, subscribe, drop a comment, share this with your mates. We'll be back at HD before you know it.